everyone, it's Amy, and I'm here to do a quick tutorial on my birdcage dress form. I tried to set this all up so I could get through it quick. If there's any parts where you need it to just stop your video, and if you want to follow along, and then start it back up again, because I'm going to try and get this done in one video, two at the most. So this is my birdcage dress form. And on one of my pages I received, it had a dress form on it, but looking through the tissue paper I thought, oh, it has a bird cage. And when I opened it up, it was one of the old, like, metal shaped dress forms. So that just popped that into my head, and I thought I have to try and make a dress form out of a bird cage. So this is my birdcage dress form. And we have the front with the V-neck collar, and then we've got our waistline, and then when you turn it over the other way, there's our back with our shoulders, and I thought it turned out really cute. So what you're going to need to do is, I wrote it all out so that I could do this faster. Okay, the first thing that you need is die cuts. You need to have 3 of the bird cages, and you need to have 2 of the dress form, just the base part. And I'll show you how to cut those in just a second. So I did a few so that I could, put them all together. And so if you use one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, you can actually get 5 birdhouses out of just one sheet of paper. So I wound up, out of 3 sheets of paper, I have 5 birdhouses. Okay, and when you cut your dress form bases, what I did, and I hope you can see this, is I drew a line right here because I was making numerous bases. I just put a line here, and then I just took a piece of cardboard and lined it up to that line so that they were all the same. And you're going to want your cardboard, your corrugation of your cardboard, the lines to run this way to give you the strength that you need. And then I just kind of cut off the corner of the cardboard there so that it would fit through my die cutting machine without that corner sticking out. So that's how you cut your bases. Just draw a line however long you want your base to be, and then just line that right up there, cut off any extra here, and make sure that your corrugation lines run that way. You don't kind of want to do it this way and line it up, because then you don't have the same amount of strength. So cut out 2 bases that look like this, just out of plain old cardboard box. And then what you're going to do in order to shape your bird cages into your dress forms, you are going to take off for the fronts, you are going to take off both sides. And what you're going to do is just cut right up to that first line, and then cut up there, and then you're going to shape the V-neck here for the front of the dress form. So all you're going to do is just continue up. You're just going to kind of swoop in a little bit and go right up to that circle, and just leave the circle there. So you're going to cut it like that. And on the other side, you're just going to cut that off just like that. And when you get to here, you're going to leave that on the back. So just follow the curve and just curve it right up there. Once you get this one cut, set it, you have a front and a back on a die cut. The back kind of has like edges on it. Set them front to front. And then just trace so that they're mirror images of each other, so that they're both exactly the same. And once you get that traced, just cut right up those lines. Gonna get stuck. Oh, I went in a little bit, but that's all right. And then cut around there. And for this one, I'm going to start from the top because I'm right-handed. It's just easier to do it that way. Cut that. And cut that. Now, we have the front of our dress form. We're going to wind up gluing them together like that, and here is our V-neck. If we hadn't cut those off that way, you've got these bumps here that are in the way, and it just doesn't look as much like a V-neck. So, alright, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take this and we are going to just glue it together really simply. Just glue it right down that edge. Line it up at the bottom. Line up your two little lines there and give it a press. Okay, and then we're going to, your back you can put on either side, but we'll put that on there too. And again, just put some glue on there. And with the back is not going to line up because it comes down further because we didn't cut off this second piece. So that's not going to line up exactly with this, and that looks totally fine once you get it together. But don't try and line those up. You want to line up straight across the bottom. Once you get all of those done, you're going to let them dry. Okay, so once you've got those all glued together, and while you're letting them dry, you are going to, just from a piece of this foam core board, just cut a circle, 1 7/8 inch circle. Okay, and I have a circle cutter, which it only just starts the cut, and then I just use my X-Acto knife and just finish cutting around it. And the only thing is, make sure that you keep your X-Acto knife straight. Don't let it tip either way, or the edges of your circle will come out, you know, like on an angle. So just make sure that you keep your knife straight when you're finishing cutting that out. Cut out a 1 7/8 inch circle, and this is for the base of the dress form here. So once you have your 1 7/8 inch circle cut out, then you are going to take your cage that's dry and take your circle, and you're just going to glue this right around the bottom. And for this part, I do use hot glue. For gluing the cages, I use just regular glue. I think that's a Zig pen that I have there. Yeah. And just any kind of a regular glue. I find I don't have a lot of luck with, I'm not good with the glue gun. And of course, now that I've let it sit there, I've run out of glue because it all leaked out. And just try and keep your base lined up with the bottom. Get another glue stick here. Get in there. Oh, and then I dropped it. And of course, I'm sure that you'll take a little more time with that, and my glue gun's just not wanting to work very well. Get that glue stick that I dropped and get that in there. There we go. Helps if you have glue in it, it works so much better. And then just roll that all the way around. That could be lined up a little better, but for the purpose of saving time. So now you've got something that looks like this. Remember, you've got your front here with your V-neck, and then you've got your back that's been glued on one side, and you need to glue that final side. And I'll try that with the glue gun. I just did it, when I did it with just regular glue again. It was easier to get it on there and, you know, like get it adjusted to where I wanted it, make sure it was lined up. Well, at least that lined up pretty good. Okay. Now that you've got your circle glued on, then you are going to take your two bases, and I'm not exactly sure why, I turn them end for end, and then just cut them right straight up the middle. I need a bigger pair of scissors for this than those little tiny ones. Just hold them together. You can do it together, you can do them separate. All you need is just a slice up the middle. And then once you get that, just trim just a sliver, and really just a sliver. You don't want too much. It just takes out some of the bulk when you try and slot the two together. So it doesn't really even matter which side or anything, just a tiny sliver off of each one, and that helps them go together better. And then you just slide them together like this. I sure hope you can see this because I'm not watching. Okay, once you get them together like that, you're going to need to glue them here. And I also did that with regular glue. We'll try it with hot glue. And you're going to decorate this all up anyway, so, you know, if you get a little hot glue out of there or whatever, you can just cover it up when you're done. Oops. Glue that one there. Just pull it aside. Make sure that it's lined up with the other side. Put that there. Probably want to hold that for a bit too. A little line there. And put that on there. And then one more. Make sure it's lined up with the opposite side. And put that there. Just kind of press those together and hold them for a few minutes. Make sure that they're nice and sturdy. And that's your base. Now, when you cut your dress form, these little tiny feet here, those are the bottom of your dress form. And then this is like the bottom of her dress. I use this wider part for my base, and I glue this little tinier part that they had for the base to my dress form itself. And that's what you're going to do now. That I did do with hot glue, I think. But, and then there's the front. I think I'm going to want it to go like that. Just kind of center it over there. Make sure you get it on the center on the bottom. And just glue that right on the circle just like that. Okay. Now all we need to do is take these two round pieces here, and we are going to glue those together. Line them up. Okay. Now we're going to kind of push that into shape a little bit. Spread that out. Just kind of make sure that we've got our little V neckline there. Of course, much more carefully when you're doing it for yourself. Oh, I did it wrong. That's the back. Good thing that that glue comes apart. We're going to glue the V-neck, the two fronts, together like that. Try that again. And be careful not to burn yourself. There. That looks more like the V-neck front I was looking for. Round that out a little bit. There we go. Now we'll take the back piece and fold it right in the middle of this. Just fold it right down the middle there, just a little crease, and not, you don't have to fold it all the way in half. Just fold that like that, gives it a little crease. Okay, and then all you're going to do is you're going to bend this down, and the glue did not stick real well, so let's glue this back together first. There, that came apart. Alright, we're just going to fold this down and fold it into there, underneath that, and that gives you your shoulders on the back. So you've got your V-neck in the front, you got your shoulders on the back, and the whole thing's a little bit, they want to go every which way. Then you just take them with your hands and you just squeeze around the waist like this. That gives you your waistline, and it takes all the slack out of these little bars that are going up and down that are a little bit wonky. So, there we go. And let me see. I did trim this little point, actually. I trimmed that off of there because it wanted to stick out the front. And then you can just put a couple little dots of glue on there after you get it adjusted to where you think you need it. But again, like I said, these look like shoulders in the front. You've got your V-neck here with glue all over everything. Got your little V-neck here. And this is my birdcage dress form. And I just was really happy with it, so I thought I'd come on and show you all how to make it. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, I know I went kind of fast, just ask and I can, I'll answer and let you know. But thank you very much. And I guess that Zeke is saying goodbye too. That's our little baby. And thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that you like my birdcage dress form. And I will talk to you all later. Thank you for watching and have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.